what happened later, I came to Miami, and I also stopped living as much in survival mode when I came to the States. And so I had more bandwidth freed up to dedicate to research and really be able to get to the root cause of why I'm struggling with weight and all that kind of stuff. And that's how I discovered keto. And from there, read The Plant Paradox by Dr. Stephen Gundry and discovered, wait a second, plants have toxins now? They have self-defense chemicals? What? How can no one even mention it in decades of academia? And not just academia, like I worked in research at every single major university. I've been to 3 big universities, and for my bachelor's and for my master's and for my PhD, not one of them, it never came up. So, and from there, started, I would still struggle with binge eating. So every once in a while, I think I'd be doing good on keto, but I'd still have cravings because on keto, you're still eating some carbs. There are still some keto treats here and there. All those things trigger cravings. The more you eat of them, the more cravings you get. And every time that would happen, I would come across like Mark Hyman and functional medicine, and I would read his books, or read The Plant Paradox, or watch the Joe Rogan interviews with Sean Baker and Paul Saladino and the Petersons. And slowly but surely, I understood the whole picture and then transitioned towards carnivore, and it was the best thing that I ever did. See, the thing is, I remember one of my professors, I would go see her as a dietitian, like as a client, and her as my dietitian outside of school. And she would just like calculate my calories and be like, okay, those are the calories you need to eat. I remember one time we were talking about Atkins, but there was I couldn't feel like she was like, yeah, like let's do low carb. Like there was never an enthusiasm on her part to clue me in that that's like a good move, to go into low carbon. So I never really did it. I just always followed what they gave me, and eventually it wouldn't work, and I would always blame myself, be like, well, I'm not following it, I'm, maybe I just need more discipline, blah blah blah. And I also saw a lot of dermatologists for my skin because I struggled a lot with acne. So I did Accutane twice. I did birth control pills. I did antibiotics. I did spironolactone, all the topicals. I mean, you name it, I've taken it. I started getting into like alternative methods and digging or doing my own research because, okay, the traditional thing wasn't working for my skin. Nothing cleared my skin. And so I would spend hours on the internet. And so I came across Dr. Lauren Cordain's book, The Acne Cure, which basically talks about how hunter-gatherer societies never had any acne. Even their teenagers never had any acne. And it introduced me to paleo dieting, which worked, by the way. So I did, every time I did it 1 month in Lebanon, and it cleared my skin. Not as much though, not as much as when I did the carnivore, because when I was doing the paleo, I was still having fruits. So I was still having, meats and fruits.
Annotated and summarized, easy to share with loved ones. The description below the title for this video has these summary points.